guys, it's Jen. Well, I was not planning on doing another video tonight, but I was being heavily guided in that direction, so much so that I was like, okay, what am I supposed to talk about? Because I have like 8 billion topics on the back burner. So I was like, God, please just show me, tell me, whatever, lay it out, because I'm not connecting the dots. Like, what am I supposed to talk about? And I was like really being guided, so I knew it was like come on now. And what I got was to go back to something I was reading earlier today, and I didn't understand why, but it's not for me to question. But before I get to that, I want to give you the background of how I got this book that I will be reading, which is the Bible. It's my personal one. I do have other translations and versions, if you will, and study other scriptural texts online that I don't have in book form. But this particular Bible is an English Standard Version, and it was a couple years back. A friend of mine and me, we went to this non-denominational community church in the neighborhood, thinking, okay, well, it probably won't be stuffy, so we'll just check it out, see what it's like. And we went, and as we were leaving, there was a lady walking in our direction, and she literally stopped like abruptly right before she was about to pass us, and she goes, hi, she goes, I'm not sure why, but I'm really being called to give you this Bible if you'd like it. And we were like, okay, we took it. And so I've used it as my personal Bible since, but all my life, I've kind of used my Bible, whatever translation I had at the time, as kind of my tarot, if you will. When I am really questioning something, or I need some kind of answer, or figuring something out, I will ask God, and I'll say, okay, just please give me the message of blah, 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 whatever it is I'm talking about. And what I kind of do is, like, I'll look away or close my eyes and just set my intent on my question, and I'll thumb through back and forth, and wherever I'm guided to, open to, every single time there's an answer to whatever message I'm seeking. So that's like my way of tarot. That's the only way I know how to explain it anyways. So earlier today I was reading Hebrews in the New Testament, and I'm like, okay, and I'm thinking, what should I, should I just read it, or what should I talk about something like? And I don't pray traditionally like, oh, Father, bless me. No, I talk to God like real, like I'm talking to you. Like, people don't understand. God sees right to the intent of your heart and your mind. It doesn't matter what comes out of here, or whether you're bowed down or crying out. It doesn't matter. God sees your intent, the true intent. So I kind of skimmed ahead where I had left off earlier, and then I was like, okay, I said, thank you, I love you, I get it, and it's Hebrews 12, and the reason, which now I know why, is because including some family members of mine and a couple of personal acquaintances, there's a lot of talk right now in the world about the end of days, Armageddon, Iran in the United States, Trump, the end times, the separation of the darkness and the light, Judgment Day, July 4th, Independence Day. There's a lot of chatter on the internet that something's going to go down on July 4th, and people are they're being led into the propaganda trap, okay? And that's what it's always been. Every war is a profitable industry, okay? Weapons and nuclear energy. And we don't want to go there again, do we? Come on, nobody does. And so the more people are drawn in, because it does make one afraid, of course. You don't want to think about nuclear war or your children, in wartime eras and things like that. No one does. Another child of a serviceman or woman losing their lives and going fatherless or motherless. It's not rocket science. Nobody wants war. And then the talk of the Anunnaki and, Planet X, Nibiru is in, it's in our solar system, and the reptilians are coming to eat all the humans. They're all evil. It's like, I just, the internet is not the best source of information, number one. And number two, unless you are exploring multiple forms and platforms of research and, factual, proven research, and seeking it yourself, seeking the truth, which will set you free. No one specific entity or source is going to give you the exact answer for anything. And there is no date or time, because only the Most High knows that. And none have access to that information. So if anyone's claiming dates out there, they could be used. So that's why it's dangerous to throw them around. Somebody could play on that, So, this is for my sister especially. She's frantic with anxiety, single mom of my nephew who's 3, very scared. She is an activist and fights the evil ruling deceptors of the world, deceptors, I just made that up, deceivers, the root of all evil, those kind of things. And just to give some clarity and peace of mind and spirit and calm, and maybe a little boost in faith, okay, and positivity, I'm going to read this to you guys, and bear with me. I already took my vitamins and everything tonight because I wasn't expecting to do this video, so my mouth is dry. And so I'm going to read this to you, and bear with me. Hebrews 12, titled Jesus, Founder and Perfecter of Our Faith. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. The next part is, do not grow weary. Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. And have you forgotten the exhortation that addresses you as sons? My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord, nor be weary when reproved by him. For the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and chastises every son whom he receives. It is for discipline that you have to endure. God is treating you as sons. For what son is there whom his father does not discipline? If you are left without discipline, in which all have participated, then you are illegitimate children and not sons. Besides this, we have had earthly fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them. Shall we not much more be subject to the Father, capital F, of spirits and live? For they disciplined us for a short time as it seemed best to them. But he disciplines us for our good, that we may share his holiness. For the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Therefore, lift your drooping hands and strengthen your weak knees, and make straight paths for your feet, so that what is lame may not be put out of joint, but rather be healed. Strive for peace with everyone, and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled, that no one is sexually immoral or unholy, like Esau, who sold his birthright for a single meal. For you know that afterward, when he desired to inherit the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no chance to repent, though he sought it with tears. So, in my opinion, that part right there, the last couple verses, has to do with the occult rulers, celebrities, Illuminati, whatever, evil, pedophiles, things like that, and that root not spring up and cause a whole bunch of drama and destruction, you know? And selling your soul out for what? Some fame and fortune, like Esau with one little meal, like things like that. It's kind of translating. And the root of bitterness, like I'm bitter about crap like that, like somebody hurting people or wronging people like that, especially children. And so, do I want the root of that business, the abuser, the inflictor of the pain, rising up? No. So that's just my personal translation. And the last part is a kingdom that cannot be shaken. For you have not come to what may be touched, a blazing fire and darkness and gloom and a tempest and the sound of a trumpet and a voice whose words made the hearers beg that no further messages be spoken to them. energies? Anybody else getting like downloads, incoming intel? I am. Anyways, for they could not endure the order that was given. If even a beast touches the mountain, it shall be stoned. We are the mountains. So if a beast even touches the mountain, it shall be stoned. Indeed, so terrifying was the sight that Moses said, I tremble with fear. I get that. When I'm with spirit or channeling, whatever, I will literally shake or get tremors. And my whole body shivers sometimes, especially when it's a higher being or more powerful. And just FYI, just so people know, I'm not biased, I'm not like holier than thou or, claiming perfection. I have always worked with both the light and dark. So, and being that my ruling planet is Saturn, I have both of that. And my personal journey, mission, path, and purpose is that, to be that equal party of no judgment, because I don't roll like that. So, it is what it is. Okay. But you have come to Mount Zion and to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to innumerable angels in festal gathering. That's like festive, bridal gathering, like a celebration or coming together of something, maybe, family reunion, wedding, whatever. And to the assembly of the firstborn who are enrolled in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of the righteous made perfect, and to Jesus, the mediator of a new covenant, and to the sprinkled blood that speaks a better word than the blood of Abel. Abel sacrificed a lamb, an animal. Speaking spreads the word better than shedding the blood of any being, in my personal opinion, my translation. See that you do not refuse him who is speaking. For if they did not escape when they refused him who warned them on earth, much less will we escape if we reject him who warns from heaven. At that time his voice shook the earth, but now he has promised, yet once more I will shake not only the earth, but also the heavens. This phrase, yet once more, indicates the removal of things that are shaken. That is, things that have been made, in order that the things that cannot be shaken may remain. Therefore, let us be grateful for receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken. And thus, let us offer to God acceptable worship with reverence and awe, for our God is a consuming fire. So that is Hebrews 12, and I totally get that, and I have another friend who is like me. There is somewhat of a separation of the dark and light, or the realms, or dimensions, or whatever. I don't know the right ways to explain it. I see it better than I can speak it. But it's almost, she's like me. It's, you want complete togetherness, no one being left out. And for me, it's almost kind of like you are grieving a loss, and it truly is. In my family, I have, as my mom would say, the good eggs and the rotten eggs, right? And like, let's use the fallen angel story. Okay, like the rebel angels, they saw that humans on Earth, let's say, got free will and, all these pleasures and all these things, and they're angels up there and just worshiping and not ever experiencing anything that they're seeing going on Earth. And they're like, all right, well, I want to go do that. And, all right, God, Dad, basically, Father, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to go against you. Well, all right, Earth teenager Jen put her parents through literal hell. I'll tell you that, I sure did. And, and what some of them chose to do was think that for whatever reason, okay, well, I'm going to be greater than you. I'm going to outdo you, and I'm going to be higher than you. And go ahead and try it, And then there are the other angels that stayed and, obeyed. But that's still their brothers, their family, And so I get it. I do, like, say that was my sister here and she had, gone against my parents and like done something evil, let's say, I don't know, murdered somebody or something, right? And which she didn't for her illegal things, I'm just making it up. But my love for her is never going to change. So that's just where I come from, I guess. I don't know. And so I'm teaching my eldest son because I didn't do a great job teaching him any truth and spirituality because religion had me so like, I was just so over it that I didn't even look to God any, like, my faith has always, but I was like, these religions have just warped every single holy good thing that was even left. I'm like, is it all lies? Like, I questioned things for a very long time. So I didn't teach my eldest son, and I am now. And I told him, honey, I said, well, he's about to be 21 this month. And I said, honey, if all you do is just pick up the New Testament and read the red letters that Jesus spoke and just try to do things like that or follow those teaching, be a good-ass person, I told him, like, straight up. Like, that's the way to be. Love, kindness, empathy, caring. He wasn't sitting on a throne, drinking out of a, golden goblet in a mansion on a yacht, sipping Dom Perignon and eating caviar. No. He was healing the sick and with the poor and the suffering right there with them. And teaching and showing others truth and redemption and how to not see death eternally by turning from everything evil and immoral and disgusting and filthy like that, that is poisoning everything. Do the right thing, you know. And so, I guess that is my video for tonight. Maybe somebody out there needed to hear that. Maybe it will help someone. I don't know. Whatever it is, it feels good. And I suggest if anyone has doubts and they need an answer, or they're suffering or need help in some way, or depressed or whatever, you know, it's called the Word of God. Word for a reason. So, you know, sometimes we, defiant children, need to listen. Just pay attention and show some respect, okay? And love each other. Brotherly love. Lay down arms, okay? We don't need to lose any more of our brothers and sisters. We've lost too many, right? I love you all. Peace.